I'm afraid I have to admit a bias. I love The Awakening. It's one of my favourite stories Classic Who ever produced. It has such a unique atmosphere that I think a lot of episodes miss out on. As the Doctor so aptly puts it in part 1,
unexpected aura for a quiet English village.
It's so simple, but executed brilliantly and with some truly outstanding moments. There's a particular shot from the opening where Peter Davison is framed in front of the crack the malice emerges from. Its shape is just so that it looks like a closed eye, and the Doctor's pose flows with it. The whole production design of this story is just outstanding, but really it's lifted so much by the beautiful location work, which was filmed on 35mm and thankfully fully restored for the Blu-ray without AI upscaling. The costumes look great, though since it's the BBC I'm sure it was no trouble finding some period garb. And there's an impressive amount of work on horseback, but unlike Warriors of the Deep, these horses seem to know what they're doing. The few interior sets we get are filmed on tape, but have clearly had a great deal of work put into them, which gives the story a uniquely cinematic feel. The church is wide and open, Wolsey's study is littered with details, the crypt is dark and moody, and the tunnels... Do I really have to comment on Doctor Who's tunnels? Oddly, this story does have updated visual effects. Not that it really needs them. There's only a handful of effects shots, and they're all exactly the same. I actually kind of prefer the originals over the key-framed intensity of the new lens flares. The direction is just brilliant. There's a particular sequence which I'd like to highlight, that being the cliffhanger of part 1 and the reveal of the malice. Realistically, this scene is 3 actors, a bit of tearaway wall, and a smoke machine. And yet the acting, music, and framing all come together to create a beautiful and tense moment.
The thing you call the malice was on board the Harkle probe.
Oh. And I see what you mean. It's still here.
Look at this shot of the malice's eye as it makes its way through the wall. I love it! There's this lovely arc Jane has from this moment, where she begins as a skeptic and is suddenly thrown into the adventure and falls behind a bit.
Doctor, I've had a terrible thought. The last battle in the War Games has to be for real.
Precisely. The slaughter will be dreadful.
You must stop him.
Yes, I know.
But then regains her confidence by the end, represented by this shot of her catching the door switch as the Doctor reaches for it. It makes her an incredibly endearing character and a joy to watch. Speaking of characters, by the end, we have almost the whole cast gathered in the church, which I've always found slightly comical, seeing such a large group cowering backwards. There are some brilliant bits of dialogue though. The Doctor especially has some real shining moments.
You must stop the war game.
Stop it! Are you mad? You speak treason!
Fluently! Stop the games.
This story has one of my favourite villains, but they don't ever speak a word. The Malice, being half alien and half wall, outsources its evil doing to Sir George Hutchinson, though it occasionally manifests the odd projection and 17th century teenager. It's a hate-spreading, time-altering presence. And that's really the best word for it, presence. I remember watching The Awakening for the first time and seeing the initial projection of the swordsman. I was utterly baffled, but also so intrigued and mystified. The whole story has this mysterious, dramatic atmosphere. It's one of the few classic stories that went for vibes and succeeded. Look at this scene, as the Malice briefly connects the battle from the past with the present. The way the sound of fighting builds and is broken by Will breaking through the wall. It's just marvellous. For me, and my very biased opinion, The Awakening will always be 10 out of 10. And that's all I've got to say. If you missed my video on Warriors of the Deep, you can find a link to it here, and we'll be returning next time with Frontios. though it might be a couple of weeks behind. My rewatch is one episode per week. But I hope to see you then. Bye bye.